So someone from our audience asks, how do I stand out in a saturated market when everyone else claims to be an expert? That is not a new problem. I'm sure you're probably thinking about that right now. The market is so saturated, right? There are so many YouTube videos out there, so many podcasts out there. There's so many people on Instagram out talking about probably the same thing you're talking about. And you're thinking, what can be my edge? How can I stand out? The first thing I want you to realize is, what is the size of your moat? And your moat in today's society is determined by your brand or your content. If you've been putting out content for the past 5 years, you're gonna have a larger moat than someone who's starting out today. It doesn't mean you can't compete, and we'll talk about how you can compete. But if you're just starting to put out content, maybe you've been growing your business with ads or referrals or cold outreach or whatever else before, and you're looking at content now and saying, how can I stand out? You need to start to think about putting in the work now, putting in the consistency now, so that 5 years on the line, 2 years on the line, 1 year down the line, you're not worrying about the size of your moat because you'd have already been putting out content. Now, the advantage you have starting out now is there are other people with a moat. There are other people putting out content. You can look to them. They're the pioneers. They're the ones with arrows in their backs. They're the ones who are paving the way. You can look at them and see what it is that they're doing that's working well, what is it that they're doing that's not working well, that their customers, that their audience is not satisfied with. And you can do a thing where you can use something like vidIQ and go to their videos, their viral videos, and look at the comments. And you can filter those comments in vidIQ by questions. And then you can see what questions are and what problems their audience is having with the content that they produced. And then when you're making your own version, you can put that content in there that answers those questions, that solves those problems. And then your video will have even more authority because you're now addressing the good things that they addressed in your own way with your own spin. And you're also talking about the problems and the questions that they didn't answer, which you can now answer. So one big leg up there. Also, I want you to take what I call the bookstore exercise. And what that means is go to a bookstore tomorrow or whatever time it is, go to a bookstore, walk in there and take a look at all the books that they have. Now go to the section about yoga. You're going to see a ton of yoga books. Or you go to the section about cooking. You're going to see a ton of cooking books. There are going to be books about keto, books about carnivore, books about vegetarian. So many different pieces of content. There are going to be even carnivore books by this author and by that author and by that author. And all of those books get picked up, get sold, or they wouldn't be at the bookstore, right? That exercise is showing you that it doesn't matter that there are other people doing it, or there are thousands of other people doing it. People are going to resonate with the people that they resonate with. There are people who maybe in that niche who are just sitting there waiting for your voice, waiting for your story, waiting for your experience for them to resonate with you. There's no one else on this planet who's like you, who has your story, who's had your experiences with who you helping your clients from problem to solution. And that's going to be your differentiator. As you create content, there is this tendency to want to talk about, do this, standing on your soapbox, do this, do this, do this, do this, versus here's what I did. Here's how I did this. Here's how I took this archetype of client and solved this problem in this specific way. Lead with your experience. Don't lead with, here's what you should do. Because listen, the people who are at the top of the mountain, who are already established, they're the ones who are giving that prescriptive, do this, do this, do this. You don't do that. You start from where you are and just share your experience, your day-to-day, your client-by-client experience, how it is that you did that. And you'll realize that you'll have an advantage over those people who are talking about do this, do this. They don't have the context. They're so high. They're so far removed from the problem, from that base customer, from that ideal customer that you have, that they won't be able to speak to them. But you, because you're so small, you're so nimble, you have that on-the-go experience, you'll be able to stand out. So I think we've gone through a couple different things already. Start building your moat of content. Do the bookstore exercise. Realize that you are one in a million and your voice deserves to be heard, and you can and will stand out if you lean into your experience and talk about not just how to do a thing, but how you did a thing, how you solved the problems. The next thing is realizing that you telling your stories, you sharing your personality, puts you in a category of one. There may be 1,000 people talking about how to cure this disease, or how to lose body fat, or how to deal with perimenopause or menopause, or how to make $1 million in the next 30 days, all of those things. But your story when someone watches your content, and they don't hide their personality. Lead with your personality. Lean into your personality, because that's what's going to be the thing that allows people to grab onto you and stick to you. Because, wow, I really vibed with you telling the thing that I already am hearing from so many different people, but the way that you tell it, the way that you communicate is what resonates with me the most. So what are those stories that you can tell? Spend an afternoon and just pull out what are your stories from growing up, from going through your own personal struggles, from helping your clients. Pull those stories out and find a way to tell them in a way that's entertaining, in a way that's actually just really you. Because I think that I can say from my personal experience, I downplay my own experience and my own stories, thinking that nobody wants to hear that. But the reality is that's totally untrue. And that's actually going to be the thing that people want to hear most, is your story. The first thing they want to know is that you know how to help them with their problem. And the second thing they want to know is who you are as a person, what your personality and your values are. Those two together, combined, solidified in your content, is what will make you stand out, and is what will bring people closer to you and want to work with you and be your client. Now, finally, let's go into technically how you stand out in saturated market. There are a couple of places you want to start looking. One is you want to be talking about a problem that is actually a problem for a lot of people. And so when you're looking at what content to create, just take a second, do search for that content in like Google Trends or Google Analytics Insights or YouTube search, and you'll see what videos exist about the topic. If there are not many videos about it, that's probably a good indication that it's not going to get a lot of views. But if people are actively searching for it, there may be something there. And if people are actually searching for it, where you see videos there that have thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views, there may be a niche there that you can carve out for yourself that will get people to come over and see and want to download and get your insights on. Google Trends and Google Analytics Insights will tell you about the volume of monthly searches that search term gets. So that will also be a good indication that, okay, start creating content there. Also, Reddit. Don't sleep on Reddit. I haven't gotten fully up to speed on Reddit yet for myself, but I have seen, doing research for my clients, video topics, for example, I can see where if something has a lot of traffic and uptake on Reddit, it's going to be a good video for you to put out. And you can actually see creative ways in which to talk about the topics based on how people have titled their Reddit posts. So you could probably take word for word, or you could make some variation of, you see a trending Reddit post with lots of comments and lots of replies. You can then take that topic and apply that to your video or your content, podcast, video, as a content topic as well. And then in the content itself, you can find all the top comments, and you can say, okay, I can talk about this, I can talk about this, they had a problem with this, I can talk about this. Use Reddit as a gold mine to find great ideas and what the people are talking about. Things are going to show up on Reddit before they show up on anywhere else. Before they show up in Facebook groups, before they show up on Instagram, it's going to show up on Reddit first. So when you do your content research, start with Reddit, and then go to Google Trends and Google Analytics Insights, then go to YouTube search, see what's there, and then that will help you to make your content even that more robust. Then lead in with your stories and your personality, solve the problems, find out what your competitors are talking about, and then how you can do a better job, or how you can answer the questions that they didn't answer, that their audience is looking for, and then you can just come in, and that's how you stand out. Do that more and more and more. Show up every single week, at least once a week, and put that content out there, and you'll be surprised. That is the path of how you stand out. And it's going to take some time. I'm not going to tell you that it will be overnight. I have seen it happen overnight, but I'm not promising, I'm not guaranteeing that it will happen overnight for you, but it will happen if you continue to put in the work and put in the time, put in the effort, and put in the attention. So I hope that answered the question. And if you're thinking that, you want to give this podcasting a real go, you want it to be something that will be the front line for your brand, where people will see it, listen to it, form a relationship with you based on that at scale, and then come in and want to inquire about your services, I can help you with that. Go to the link in the first description down below and book a call with me. Let's talk. I'll just take a look at your business and give you an honest opinion. Hey, I think I can help you. Hey, I don't think I can help you. And we'll take it from there. If not, definitely subscribe for more value. I put up videos every week. So you might find one here that you might get a lot of benefit from, that YouTube will think that you want to see. I'll see you over that one. Take care.